Welcome to this angelic transmission where I'm just going to ask that we be really, really held and supported in angelic light. And I'm asking that as I'm connected directly with my higher self and with Source, and I'm connected into the earth plane, I'm asking that this is the passageway with which divine energies, authentic energies, creative energies, passionate energies, and soulful energies can flow through. My intention in this session is that whatever it is you're currently perceiving in your life as a problem area, or whatever you're perceiving in the world as a problem area, or whatever you're perceiving in yourself as a problem area, or whatever you're perceiving, okay, as in need of transformation, I'm asking that whatever those energies are be flooded with angelic light today. So all of those little caged parts, those little hidden parts, those little pockets of illusion that are sitting within your field, I'm asking that they be welcomed to this party today so that they can be bathed in divine light. So this is going to be a session that I allow my team in spirit to guide me through, guide us through. And if you're new to this space, there will be energy work done here today in this space. There will likely be shadow work that comes into play in this space. So if you're driving, if you're operating machinery, if you're busy, if you are tending to a lot of things in your life right now, this is probably not the best time for you to take in this session. This session would be best received when you can go into your inner temple, really into your inner temple. So we're not going to be floating and flitting out in the ego. We're going to be going into the inner temple today for the session. So who is ready to start exploring some angelic energies, angelic messages, and who is open to receiving healing light codes that will serve in the highest and best good of all? Who's ready? Who's ready? Let's go. Let's go, Rich. I agree, let's go. Leah's ready. Krista's ready. Jamie's ready and open. Beautiful, beautiful energies. The openness is such a key. Right as you said open, Julie's ready. I saw that it's a very inner child energy here, but what my guide showed me about the openness is that we all, let's see, this is the Akashic Records, oh boy, okay. I have the angelic, let's see, they're calling themselves the Akashic Angels. Yep. The Akashic Angels, interesting. Okay. They're showing me the Akashic Angels are showing me right now that these are facets of the inner child that they're referencing. And please know that everything I'm saying in the way of words is so secondary. It is so a small part of what is coming through. What's coming through that you're going to feel is the energy. It's not so much that you'll take away something I'm saying, but you'll feel energy. Okay. So what my guides are showing me is the inner child faculties of us that just, they want to hug, they want to cuddle, they want to play. They want to be free. They want to, they're showing me the inner child wants to be seen, heard, understood, felt, witnessed, engaged with. I'm hearing engaged with. In other words, played with, paid attention to. They're saying those parts of us come, they start a buzzing, they start a vibrating within our field. But because of structures of the ego, we inside are emanating this message of, I want love, I want affection, I want to be played with, I want, okay, all of these things. Like, this is like the inner calling of us. But because the ego structure has beliefs and patterns and false identity ego structures within itself that say, they're giving me this energy where inside we're saying, I want love, but the people around us only see our ego, and our ego is saying, like, stay out. Stay out. Like, slamming the doors. So everybody scan that energy. Find those parts of you that are wanting the love. And see, you might even want to go within yourself right now and just extend a hand and say, what is it you need? Because this is a soul. My guides are saying soul intervention. It's funny. They're saying it's a soul intervention. It's time for the soul to step back through you, your soul, and become fully embodied. And we need to bridge these gaps that we have between the false identity ego and what it is we're really desiring as a soul. And remember, your soul is made of unconditional love. So this can get a little tricky when we think the ego is wanting the love. No. And then we start to do this thing where we think we're not allowed to have desires. We're not allowed to have wants. That is a very, very tricky programming of the ego. Believe it or not. It's not so much that your ego wants this love and you're to deny your ego of the love. It's more so that your soul is love. And your ego has perceptions about how to acquire that love. So, Michael, you're new here. And your ego is triggered. Find out why. Okay, so we have 3 angels that came out before I even sat down. They're probably the angels that are mostly working through me in this moment. We will see, though. What was presented to me in the Akashic records was this fleet of Akashic Angels that were really, they're here to, the ego is not fueling your desire, Michael. You're getting this way backwards. And if you want to stay, zip it. Because there's people here that can actually receive these angels and you cannot. And that's okay. Your time will come. There will be a time that you become receptive, but you're not right now, so leave my space. Okay, so the first angel we got is Archangel Mallory. Please also note the individuals that keep me off things like TikTok and make me not want to come back to places like this. You're angry. This is the attempts of someone to trigger. His name is UNIVOLVE. His name says Michael. I'm not angry. But if you're witnessing that, then you're feeling that, and that's your feeling. I'm going to post this one publicly because I can't tell you guys how many times I have someone come in here and they try to derail the transmission and their profile says, "Love and light, I'm here to serve." It's like, what is happening in this world? But if he says one more thing, I'll kick him out. Otherwise, I'll let him stay because clearly he's healing some dormant anger and resistance to love. So remember who you are. Take action when you are ready. I also want Archangel Michael to really watch over this person because this person does not know what they're doing at all. Completely unaware. So, Mallory's placing like a golden ball of light around each of us. In this group, there's a lot of inner child wounds. So just remember that those inner child faculties of us, they really need gentleness. They really need tenderness. And, sometimes the inner child part of us actually does need to kind of have a tantrum. Like our inner child needs to be like, I don't like the way that the world is, okay? Our inner teen does this too. Our inner teen does this really strong. Our inner teen was like looking at the world and evaluating all the things that we're seeing now as adults and kind of clicking into place. The inner teen saw that like right away and was like, what the heck, Yep. So let me see here. Archangel Mallory is like transmitting a download through me, but it's very wordless. Shurahara yara yara nyerea kihanara iresia tuara yaharaya. She's saying this statement to me. It's very strange. She's saying you won't be able to give love unless you're open to receive love. She says everywhere you're blocking the reception of love, you're blocking your emanation of love. So what she's showing me here, they've shown me similar things before, where wherever we've been patterned from fear, that's when we go into the sympathetic nervous system. So anytime some part of you is coming up, so that Michael gentleman, if he's still here, I'm not sure. But I see. We start to act in these sympathetic nervous system ways because we're getting to a part of ourselves that has been patterned, programmed, conditioned to blockade and protect against fear. So the next time you find yourself triggered, see it as gold. I'm telling you, a lot of you here, you don't get triggered as much as you used to. And that's beautiful. However, your triggers are important. Whatever's triggering you, whatever's throwing off your bells and whistles, golden. Do not deny those things. Do not run from them. They're telling you where you're conditioned to protect against things that you are labeling as only having the ability to create fear within you, okay? So you're blockading, creating these walls and these FU signs all over your body that say, stay away, get out, don't talk to me, don't come near me, don't mess with me, okay? So we might put these up in our earlier years, and then now up in our face is some trigger. Maybe someone's showing up in our life where we're channeling angels and they're like coming at us. A trigger will present to show us there's still a part of you that is conditioned to do nothing except protect against fear. If you're in the energetic of protecting against fear, you are not open to love, you are not emanating love, you are not being who? Your soul. So the parts of you that are acting from fear, those are your ego. So notice them, and they can be tricky. They might seem like they're patterned towards love. They might seem like they're doing the right thing. They might seem like, haha, we're going to jump into this live and attack someone for even desiring love for themselves and tell them that they're not allowed to desire love. So I'm hoping that if you're ever coming here and you are triggered, that's gold. Don't stop coming just because you're coming here and getting triggered. If you're coming here and getting triggered, that's gold. What is it showing you? What is it telling you? Like, what part of you is looking to change, but you don't know it's looking to change because of that sympathetic nervous system state? So, and this is another message of when you are triggered into your sympathetic nervous system state. So your parasympathetic nervous system state is your flow state. Your sympathetic nervous system state is fight, flight, freeze. So when you're in fight, flight, freeze, identify. No, that is not the time to act. That is not the time to organize. That is not the time to communicate. That is not the time to make changes in your life. All right? If you're in a triggered state, your only goal then, if you find yourself in a triggered sympathetic nervous system state, what is your goal? Does anybody know? Hello, Jennifer? Does anybody know? What's your goal if you find yourself anchor in, aim intent, go for gold? I like that. Our goal needs to be to calm down. Our goal needs to be neutrality. Okay? That's kind of the frequency that the guides were looking for us to find. Neutrality. So even like go for the gold is slightly off because, just slightly, because when we need to get ourselves back to the 0 point frequency. We need to get ourselves back to neutrality because when we are drowning in the sympathetic nervous system, we're not going to hear so much our soul, we're going to hear our ego. That's why the only thing that you would want to focus your energy on if you're in that state is, let me get back to ground zero. Let me get back to neutrality. Let me get back to balance. Let me get back to being grounded. Let me get back to anchoring myself. You might even ask yourself the questions of, what would help quell my mind? What would help quell my body? You might even want to ask yourself, like, which one of these can I tend to more easily? My mind or my body? Because when you're in a sympathetic nervous system state, your emotional body is pretty tangly because stuff is shifting, right? Because remember, these triggers are not to hurt us, but they are to correct, and they are to reprogram, and they are to redirect. And breath work is beautiful. Thank you, Dibs, the docent. So some of you will like breath work. Some of you will feel that the only thing you can do is lay down, put on some frequency music. If you're in a triggered state, I would encourage you towards frequencies like 396 hertz, 417 hertz, 432 hertz. If you try those frequencies and they're kind of bringing you a little bit down, because they're showing me the energy of it can like make you feel a little bit more down, then experiment with frequencies like 639 hertz, 963 hertz. You might want to go to the higher frequencies if those lower frequencies are not kind of doing the job. Because they're showing me sometimes too, it's a chakra. So you might have a chakra that's kind of like being completely reprogrammed. It might be something like the third eye. If it's the third eye, that's when you kind of want to go to more of like that 963 hertz, because you're going to want to focus on, or 741 hertz. But you're going to want to focus on like clearing out the tangles that are going on in these upper chakras. Some of you might even need to like sing or light language or hum or talk it out. They're saying some of you like would need to talk it out. But okay, but about that, a lot of you don't have people that are safe to talk it out with. Talk it out with God. Okay? Talk it out with Source. Have a conversation with Source. Some of you will feel, there's some in this group, there's some religious programming in this group, so when I say the word God, you might feel triggered. That's probably because of the religious programming. That's a big reason why I use the word Source, because of the religious programming that tends to attract to my field. You talk out loud in the car. Beautiful. So right, so find these places where you can, they're saying the voice is your soul. So use it. Okay, let's see what the next angel is. What a fluctuating number here. It's like been 10, it's been 60, it's been all over the place. Guardian angel. Love yourself unconditionally and ask for help. So ask for help is really standing out here. We're really talking about this when my guides are asking me to like really focus on addressing for all of you when you're in these sympathetic nervous system states. Because when you're in your flow states, that's you. That's who you really are. The more time you can be in that, the better. But if the triggers keep coming, if the triggered sympathetic nervous system keeps coming up for you, it's time to stop running from it. It's time to see what it's there to help you transform. And so it's a beautiful time for you to deepen into your faith in all that is. They want me to say this. They're showing me like a bunch of equals signs. And they're showing me the infinity symbol equals unconditional love, equals source, equals all that is, equals. They're saying higher self. So they're saying, yeah, their higher self. They're saying equals oversoul. Okay? And then they're showing me these equations and they're popping off the page. The one that we'll be able to actually hear and receive is, okay, they want to reprogram. They say they want to reprogram when we say God. When we say God. When we say God. They want all of us to, instead of hearing that word and hearing all the programming we have around the word God, they want us to hear the word God and hear it synonymously with unconditional love. This is the main reprogramming that we're doing here. Unconditional love has no conditions upon you. Source will witness us. In a sympathetic nervous system state and a parasympathetic nervous system state, and have the same immense amount of love for us in either one. Source is not going to come knocking at your door and saying, stop being in a sympathetic nervous system state. Source will love you no matter what state you're in. So too will your guardian angel. So your guardian angel won't be the one coming and saying, stop feeling pain. Your guardian angel won't come to you and say, stop suffering. Your guardian angel won't come to you and say, you're not allowed to be angry. Your guardian angel will show up with unconditional love and be with you. And that unconditional love is going to be what switches you, creates the paradigm shift, creates the transformation, creates the soulful evolution that's looking to be delivered to you by embracing you in exactly the state that you are. Triggered or not. And I'm just sensing, and like I'm hearing my ego is like, that's so much love. It's almost overwhelming. But we're going to hold the ego's hand to say, but this is what is real love. This is real love. And my guides are just poking me on the shoulder, my right shoulder, and they wanted me to say that for whatever reason. But what they're saying is, thank you for the gifts. They're saying that we perceive our biggest fear as fear, but our biggest fear is our own power. A lot of you have read that in books. You've come to that aha on your own. They want it to be reiterated right now. We're afraid if we shine so bright, we'll attract all the things we've experienced in past lives or parallel lives. If we shine our light, we're seen. If we shine our light, everything we desire will come in. And that would put that ego out of a job. So of course the ego is going to resist it. And right, we're not looking to be all powerful, but we must stand in our power. Standing in your power is true sovereignty. A sovereign state is not fearful. A sovereign state is not confused. A sovereign state is in the know. 2026, the biggest energy that's going to be embodying through all of us, more predominantly towards the middle of the year, but it's starting now for most of us, it's sovereignty. I am sovereign. I am a sovereign divine being. Meaning it does not matter whether or not we're receiving validation. It doesn't matter. We're sovereign. Whew. They're showing me Merkabas. They're showing me 8-pointed stars, 9-pointed stars. And they're saying, oh, this is intense. They're saying, remember, a lot of you, your original soul incarnation was not in a physical body. It's probably going to drop people off the transmission as I say this. I'm still going to say it because it's what's coming through. A lot of us, our souls originated in a star incarnation. A lot of us, our soul originated as a planet. A lot of us, our soul maybe had its first incarnation as a tree. A lot of us, yep, they're saying that first embodiment of your soul, it does shape you. And time isn't necessarily real, but for the sake of the infinite soul, the first embodiment leaves an imprint. So, let's see, why are they saying that? They said that they're just wanting you all to know that because it'll help you understand yourself as a human more. Interesting. So it'll help you understand. And okay, so some of you too, like your first embodiment could have been an angel embodiment. So if that's the case for you, you're meant to bring into every incarnation that you embody into that angelic light. And that would be true for a lot of you here. And in the replay. What they're showing me about all of you right now is that you would all resonate with that first embodiment being the first embodiment being a shape-shifting embodiment. Okay, so an embodiment, let's say in Lemuria. Okay, they want me to bring out the Lemurians. This last card we got is Archangel Samael. Hello, Heather. Okay, but the Lemurians are coming in. So if we had our first embodiment in Lemuria, I mean, a lot of us did. But, I mean, like in this, I got used to doing the Zooms a little bit, and so I'm just like sharing very openly, but this is TikTok, so I'm trying to be careful. Yeah, but if your first embodiment was like a shape-shifting embodiment, then that means every incarnation that you go into, you're meant to carry on that kind of shape-shifting energy. Not like it's not like the ego way that we would think of it, like chameleon ego type. Like the ego will see that and be like, oh, they just show up as whatever is, matching whatever they're going to. But the truth is, as a soul, we're much more like shapeshifters than freaking humans. Okay. In Lemuria, for example, Heather, I was many things that I could just shapeshift into at will. Like I could be an octopus, a mermaid, a bipedal being, a ball of light. When I was in Lemuria, I was a priestess, and I could be anything that I wanted to at will. Not that I was the only one, because everyone that was in Lemuria could do that too. Okay? So I wasn't like special. It was just that was Lemuria. Okay, 4. And this is what I want to say about spiritual gifts. We think these spiritual gifts are like things like, remote viewing is cool. Yeah, I want to try it. Astral travel is cool. Ooh, I want to try it. Like, ooh, telekinesis, cool. Biolocation, cool. Like, we think they're these things that are outside of us that we're learning. No, it is soul memory. If it's within your soul memory and it's waking up, crown. Right to know. Go beyond attachments. Divine alignment. So we talked about the unconditional love earlier. Unconditional love is not attached. It's like an inner remembrance, not something we acquire outside of self. Exactly, Heather. I'm hearing you've been doing this for lifetimes. You've been doing this for lifetimes. So these gifts that are waking up within us, it's not going to be what we've been trained to believe things are on earth. It's going to be something that we remember and that our soul's been doing for many of us eons. That's why so many of you, this was coming up in my workshops that I ran, so many of you feel that your channeling gifts, you don't have a say in them. It's just they drop through you at random times. Yeah. That's certainly how it started for me. Because it's your soul. You can't do anything separate from your soul. You are your soul. Who's Archangel Samael? Where's Samael? I don't know, but I don't really want to answer that because you've asked it a few times and that card's not even up anymore. So, sorry. You'll have to figure it out on your own. I'm not here to say I have all the answers. So please don't take that as what I'm doing here. It's not what I'm doing. Resolution. Old timelines collapsing. Insights, higher self-embodiment, and expression. And so answers, questions and answers, those are on the information. Light is information. Okay. Unconditional love is the delivery system for that information. If you have so much information spewing at you and there's no love, you'll shut down. You'll shut down. Your ego will go, nope, closed. Thank you, Peaches. That's why we talk about love so much, everybody. Because all the information in the world, I could, if I wanted to sit down with my guides and get every single date and what would happen, I could. Do I want that? No. Why would life be fun if we knew exactly what was going to happen every single day of the future? Like, why would we even come into these bodies? Why would we spend all that? We have to go at warp speed to get into these bodies. It's quite a journey. I would say, having had the NDE that I had, birth is so much harder than death. Birth is so much harder than death. Just saying. My personal experience, maybe only, I don't know. I would say everyone probably would agree with this at a time later. But yeah, that's my experience. Coming back into my body was the hardest thing I think I've ever done. Coming back into my body was the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm just going to do, there's like some heart stuff going on, so I'm just going to shake some out. And so if we want a final truth, it's unconditional love. So you don't need to spend all this time like trying to mind matter things. It's unconditional love. What does your soul want? Unconditional love, because it's what it is. That's why we can't trick ourselves into thinking we don't actually want love. We do. We want love. We want heart connection. Yeah. Anyone that's had an NDE would definitely resonate with that. The story of my NDE is on my YouTube channel. You can definitely look it up and watch it. It was a very traumatic experience, so I won't go over it today. It was almost exactly 10 years ago. almost exactly 10 years ago. The memories that I have like flooding back to me from that experience, they come to me all the time. What's standing out right now is it reminds me a lot of the movie Soul. Like there's this room that you go to do a past life review. I'm like seeing it right now. It's going to be different for each of us, but there's like a space within the Akashic records where you do your past life review, but you don't just get a past life review. Like you see all of your lives. So when I like crossed over, my guides showed me every life I've ever lived, which it's been many. So many. So many. I've been so many things. I've been many plants, I've been men, I've been women, I've been mermaids, I've been lots of different types of animals. I've got embodiments in a lot of the star systems and the Pleiades, Arcturus, and Sirius. Yeah. Wow. That's powerful, Gina. Becoming the love we seek. Yeah. I think to put a bow on this, let me hold some crystals. My guides are giving me like an overview of all of you. A lot of you might be familiar with the Law of One. Feel Ra in the space, really strong right now. What they're showing me, and these are like, I don't know, there's a lot of guides in this group, but what they're showing me right now is that for all of you here, what you can resonate with and take away from this transmission and actually have it be effective for you is realizing they're showing me that all of you are like 85% service to others. That's what they're showing me right now. They're showing me all of you are very, very good and really expanded into the service to others modality. Some of that, you being service to others, some of that was built from trauma. So I want to be really delicate in how I'm communicating this because I'm not saying to you, don't be service to others. But I am saying if you don't start incorporating service to self, you're gonna tank. You're gonna tank. You have to be able to fill your own cup. I'm like almost choked when I said that. You have to be able to fill your own cup. Because remember, if it's from trauma, it's from your ego. So we're talking things like people pleasing here. We're talking things like overgiving here. We're talking things like you won't do anything for yourself until you've done everything for everyone else. Okay? So this is the reminder from Spirit. You're allowed to have a full cup. Okay? You're allowed to. And I'm not going on to the Lux, you're presenting a lot of narcissistic energies. I'm not talking about the ego version of take care of self. I'm talking about the soul version of take care of self. It's a very rather odd thing to say, but I'm going to block you right away for that one. The Most High would never give anyone a gift of hate. So anyone that read that comment from this individual here, el.on.bord.ann.ce7. Just in case any of you ever want to go back and look these people up so you can block them. What the guides were trying to communicate there, everybody? Guilt and shame. A lot of you aren't giving yourself love or tenderness or kindness or care because of guilt and shame. Lux is becoming a problem as well. What is this happening here? What's this person's profile like? Yep, I get it. Okay, so Lux, I know you're in the space trying to trigger. I know what your attempts are. You're not going to be successful. So if you want to trigger someone, trigger yourself so you can learn about yourself. Because anytime that your ego is trying to trigger another person, you're not in productivity. You're in regression. You're really, you're kind of like fragmatizing. Like I'm seeing Lux's ego and it's like very messy. There's a lot of like parts of you, Lux, that are like in other people. And if you're leaving yourself out there like that, you're opening up yourself to a lot of psychic attacks. And I think you might even be being attacked right now, based on your comments. But, okay, so what's the other lessons that we took away from today? Nothing can touch me. Yeah, I mean, including love, and that's why you're acting like a mess. So we're going to block this person. Okay, so, woo! Those flew out. Did you guys see that? So yeah, just so everybody knows, like if you're coming here to have an ego battle, I'm not the person. Find someone else that likes that sort of thing. I find it to be very time wasting to go to ego battles. My belief is this, my belief is that, my belief is this, my belief is that. I talk about this a lot. It's the ego ping pong game. It's like nothing gets anywhere. It's just like a big dumb argument. So fire and water. Stillness amidst turmoil. This is important. Feel emotional integration. So, let those fiery emotions move through. Let yourself experience the turmoil. Let yourself experience the turmoil by observing it. You observe it. Am I going to sit here and tell all of you, guess what? Planet Earth's going to be turmoil-free this year. Get ready. It's going to be so great. No turmoil, no chaos, no problems. Everything's going to be love and light. That would be a lie. That would be a lie, a verbatim, blatant lie. There's going to be more turmoil. Okay? How you handle that turmoil is entirely up to you. Thank you for being here. Shine your light very brightly and beautifully and share your love with the world. Spread it, ripple it. Show someone kindness today. Show someone compassion today. So show someone care today. Show someone today that they're safe to feel love. Show someone today that they're safe to give and receive love. And then this is the last card because I can tell my family's getting a little uppity. And they've been great, so I'm going to give them big thanks. So breathing, ground, feel sensations, purity, clarity, expression. Let's breathe together really deeply just to close the session. Maybe do a little body scan, see, is there any parts of my body that got really transformed today? Let's breathe into those spaces. Breathe deeply in. When I find that I'm really shifting through energy, my voice, my out breath makes that sound. I'm going to see if it'll do it again. I can kind of hear it. You can really feel the energy shifting when you go to the breath. So if any of you that you ever happen upon these lives, or just anything that you're doing for yourself, okay, anyone, anything, anything in life, utilize the breath. Utilize the breath, because they're also showing me too, when we're in the sympathetic nervous system, our breath gets more shallow. When we're in the sympathetic nervous system, we might start to pause between the breaths. So if you feel, again, we've really addressed that sympathetic nervous system state, breath work. A lot of you have said it throughout the transmission. A lot of you already know it. A lot of you are already utilizing it. But some of you really needed the reminder to utilize the breath. Okay, let me see if there's there's one closing angel that wants to share a little message. And also, whoever asked about Archangel Samael, I don't usually work with that angel, so I don't really know much about Archangel Samael, and it's the things that channel through me, they're going to be the things that I have some reference points for. Archangel Mary is closing the session. Your body usually needs to shake when you breathe like that. Yeah, that's very, very typical, very common of when we're moving and we're shifting energy. So Archangel Mary is just kind of coming into this space. Open your heart with compassion. Enfold others in love. So let's just place some hands on the heart. Some hands. If you've got 10 hands, place them on the heart. Do we have any beings here with 10 hands? So I'm seeing a bunch of weird octopus beings. It's fun. Very Syrian. Okay, so take a deep breath into the heart. All right. I'm seeing wings that are kind of coming around all of you and giving you this very winged hug. It's hard to explain what I'm seeing. Archangel Mary just wants to share a message. You're safe to soften. You're safe to connect. Heart-to-heart connections are what will build New Earth. New Earth won't be built from mind. New Earth will be built. New Earth won't be built from mind. New Earth will be built. I still have anyone here? Ooh. Do I still have anyone here? I was full-blown channeling Archangel Mary and everything froze. Everything froze. I tripped it out. I tripped it out. Did Mary's message freeze? No. So I was just channeling Archangel Mary and it completely froze out. Okay, let me try to see if I can get the messages from Mary. She's just saying open our hearts. Open our hearts. That's the key. She said a lot of things, okay? She said New Earth will be built by heart connections. It won't be built from mind. She said New Earth will be built. She was showing me this energy where as we're connecting heart to heart, that's the energy that builds New Earth. So what she was showing me was we don't build New Earth from individual mind. We build New Earth from heart connections. Heart to heart. And she was just showing me all these energies where that's how new energy is created, is from heart to heart exchanges. And then she was showing me when we try to connect mind to mind, it's frenetic energy. So it's what she was showing me was when we try to connect mind to mind, that energy can't be wasted. Everything just transforms. Like nothing, energy never dies. But when it comes to like frenetic energy, it does kind of give the energy of wasted energy. Kind of like, it's like, because we have to exert a lot of energy. When we try to connect mind to mind, it's like a lot of exertion. And when we do heart to heart connection, it's in flow, and the New Earth kind of just builds itself. So that's what she was trying to communicate. But she tried to communicate a lot, and I don't know how much of it delivered. But thank you all for joining this today. I'm glad that we closed with Mary because she's such a loving, compassionate guide. I would encourage any of you that aren't working with Archangel Mary or Mother Mary to call on her and have her help you. And thank you all for staying on the transmission. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to turn out in the end because so much of it was like a little botched at the end. Archangel Mary and Mother Mary, yes, they're the same. New Earth is unity consciousness. New Earth is that's what they're saying. They're saying New Earth is unity consciousness anchored. So it's got to happen through each of us individually and collectively. And it's happening. So brava. Keep anchoring New Earth. And how do you do that? You look at your patterns, your thoughts, your habits, your behaviors, and you see which are patterned from love, which are patterned from fear. Keep the ones that are patterned from love. Reprogram the ones that are patterned from fear. Okay, thank you everyone for joining today. I love you all so much. This will be uploaded in my Energy Healing membership. And be sure to hydrate because today was packed with activations. Thank you for pointing that out. We got a lot of energy activations. That doesn't mean that you got anything that wasn't yours. It means anything that was sitting in your ego field that isn't you was transmuted, okay? Alchemized, so that you can get back to your pure soul. And yes, drink lots and lots of water. I mean this, especially for those of you that might be new. This was a full-blown transmission. So may it serve you in the highest and best good of all. May you anchor your unconditional love in a way that feels playful, fun, enjoyable, connective. Namaste.